Alrighty guys, welcome on back to some more Trails Through Daybreak 2. Last time, we ended up finishing the E route. We stopped the coup in the capital, saved the president, and were able to stop Jin, Kilika, and Cody. Went through a gauntlet of fights, just 9 fights in a row pretty much with a couple save spots. This time, we're actually hopping into the final route of Act 3. Just like the last one, it's mostly combat. There's very few exploration in this. There's no side quests. So let's just go ahead and jump right in.
Things are still a little chaotic around here, but I doubt it'll be that way for long.
Yeah! With everyone's help, Edith will be back to normal in no time.
Mr. Vatek and Miss Ruron's involvement will no doubt expedite the process.
It looked like they had a lot on their minds.
Let's not worry about that right now. It may be best to let them sort their thoughts out.
I'm really sorry, you guys. There's no excuse. I'm the one who let this happen, and a mistake like this has to come with a price.
No, you don't mean...
Are you saying you intend to quit the guild?
Ha! Easy with the soul-piercing glare. Fact is, a future S-rank bracer being involved in a coup attempt is a real bad look. Not only does it break our agreement to not interfere in political matters, but it'll also shake the very trust people put in the guild.
I think they would feel much more betrayed if you left before the mastermind was even caught. The fate of the Republic may be in jeopardy. How can you even think of leaving now?
She's right. Why should you have to turn in your badge and not me?
If you left now, the Edith branch would be in shambles.
We need you, Jin. Heck, everyone in Calvard does too.
I know I'm still green, but I'll do my best to help you. In the name of the supporting gauntlet, we have your back.
You guys...
I can offer no excuses for my recent conduct. Instead, I'll tell you what I intend to do to rectify the situation. I plan to use what we've learned from this incident to track the ringleader down and back him into a corner.
I believe I can assist in that endeavor, namely by coordinating with the relevant parties.
Good. See to that then. You may use all of the CID's resources along with the mass media to get the job done. In the end, I think we were fortunate that he chose you and the Immovable to lead the coup. You were able to minimize collateral damage to the civilians and the troops. This was an exemplary demonstration of your crisis management capabilities.
I am undeserving of your praise.
Well, I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
Perhaps the biggest takeaway from all this is that you and the guild owe me a favor now.
That was insane. Now, it was insaner than insane. I can't blame the president for barring Marielle from reporting on all this.
Agreed. Though she will be able to eventually. That's why she is hard at work interviewing those involved.
Guess she's grown out of her puppy-eyed amateur phase. But what I'm more interested in is your pops. That guy's a ride and a half.
Aaron! It's alright, Fairy. Still, I really have to wonder how much of that he actually foresaw. But I'm just happy he wasn't harmed.
I think we're all more than a little relieved.
Yeah, this was the best possible outcome. Like your dad said, there wasn't much damage done to the city. We might not have caught the mastermind, but we still got one over on him. That counts for something.
Guess so.
And we did it without relying on that rewind power.
We prevented what happened on that horrible night on our own merits. We all knew something bad was happening back then, but I never pictured it being a coup.
It was so large scale. Even the Garden Master had to stretch himself thin to carry it out.
Yes. This time the corrosion spread to a lot of people. Essie included. The fact that we've overcome it time and again is working in our favor. At least, that's the impression I have.
I think so too. It's also how we got back 5 of the 6 stolen Genesees so quickly. Now we can turn our attention to finding the Garden Master. With the President on the case, it won't be long till he's forced out of hiding.
Right. I also want to start looking for clues about Nadia's whereabouts. In order to stop the corrosion once and for all, we have to...
The time is ripe!
Huh?
What's going...
The hell?
What's happening?
Those people... and the sky!
This must be the corrosion at work. But it isn't like the previous cases.
Yeah, this is on a whole other level.
What's happening? At last, the experiments have been completed. Everything has culminated in this very moment. It's time to correct the course of history. Citizens of Calvard and the Zemurian continent, bear witness to the true history and the birth of a new world!
Ah! No, the corrosion is affecting time and space itself.
This can't be happening!
But we came so far!
Damn it all!
Everyone, get out of here! Anya!
Van! Perry! Aaron! Reset! Katja! Judith! I know that voice. Nadia! Where are you? Maggie! Take this! The 7th Genesis! I did it! I got it to you! You have to find it. Find the last route! Nadia! Nadia!
Well, looks like... No way. All of that. Everything we did. Literally everything. And we're just going right back to the beginning of the chapter. Are you kidding? I mean, this is before anything, right? Yeah, this is before... This is the beginning of Act 3. Well, looks like we're heading back to the beginning. Yeah, we lose everyone in the party too. Wow.
Word is that one faction after another's been pouring into the capital after hearing the rumors going around. It's got the streets stinking to high heaven. Now that we have Catra again, there's no better time to act. We're gonna flush our enemies out of hiding, and bring back Swin and Nadia to boot. I've already asked Bermati to start gathering info. We can check in with him while mobilizing the rest of our contacts. You guys ready to roll?
These memories. Guys, look!
It's the Genesees the Garden Master stole from us!
They've come back to us. Or was it that we got them back?
Yes. And Nadia got us the 7th.
This doesn't appear to be a dream.
Definitely not. I remember everything that's supposed to happen over the next 3 days.
But the way things are turning out, we'll just end up forgetting again. And that goes for everything from Ashen's corrosion onward.
Not much we can do but keep moving then. Preferably in a completely different way than before. One memory is more vivid than the rest. Maybe that's our lead. The only place we haven't gone to on the first day.
Vontai District, where the final corrosion occurred.
Yes. That was the focal point from which everything was consumed.
There's gotta be something there. Let's go and investigate.
And so there's our 7th Genesis from Nadia.
It's time to finally put an end to all this.
All in favor of pounding that shitty Garden Master into mush? Say aye.
So, you got a couple things you can do here. First, you can actually go watch a movie. So if you head to, which one is it? I believe any of the locations have the movies. We'll head to Tyrell District here to go watch some movies. Again, there's no point in watching them if you've seen them all. It's just to give you a little bit of extra boost to the relationship with some of the characters. So, I'm going to drop a save just, again, in case I end up watching it with characters I've already seen it with. You can see, you actually are restricted who you even have to join you now. So, sure, we'll watch the Saga of Ravana. And we'll watch it with Judith and Agnes. Oh. What was that? Judith and Agnes? Yep. Already saw it with Agnes. So let's see about Saga of Ravana. Agnes, Judith. Already watched it with Agnes. So, I'm actually going to see, can I go watch it at the Treon Mall instead? Nope, I don't. Let me go to Treon Mall. Let me go to the Stardust Cinema. See if there's any movies here we can watch with Agnes instead. Let's see what we got.
Step right.
We'll see Pawn, Agnes, and Judith. Already saw it with Judith. So can I watch it with Agnes and Elaine? Already saw it with Elaine. We're gonna purchase it anyways, though. Just because I haven't seen it with Agnes, and I'd prefer to boost her over the other characters. So Agnes will get a little boost there. And then we got one more we can watch.
Step right up.
It's about the Adventures of Rockford. Nope, can't even watch it with Agnes. So we'll go watch 3 Point Heat, Agnes, and Elaine. Sure, we'll watch it. We haven't seen it with either of them. Agnes gets a little boost, and Elaine gets a little boost. And unless you've been missing out, that is all you can do that is new in this entire act. We've done everything else. We've collected everything else. We'll go ahead and grab this octuple kill. We get Celestial, cures everyone's KO. Also get some Sepith, and then the S boosts made. We can get increased damage to stunned enemies. So, with that, we have nothing else to do besides head to the Vantail District.
Heading to the objective. It's like the coup never happened. Yes, it's certainly odd, but I think this is for the best.
We just have to take measures to ensure that future doesn't play out again.
So, here, there's only one thing you can grab. This is the final portal. At this point, you will have found all 18 portals. So you can go ahead and grab Tamamo. Tamamo is the low chance of guaranteeing stealth when hit by an attack. It's pretty solid. It's not as good as it was in previous games, but still pretty good. And that is all there is to do here. At this point in the game, you have reached the point of no return. So, if you've collected everything to this point, I will go over everything you should have. So, you should have 345 enemies logged. You should have 146 dishes sampled. I don't actually think that counts the dishes I have not been able to make yet, because I am still missing some of the dishes that I don't have the ingredients for, because we need more recipes or more ingredients, but we should have 146 dishes sampled. You should have 7 out of 8 of the papers collected. All of your movies should already be watched, so it won't pop up here. You should have 141 out of 150 chests plundered. We should have 33 out of 36 of the 4 SPGs gained. We should have 40 out of the 48 gifts given. We should only be missing 1 sauna at this point. It's not popping up here, but you should only be missing 1 sauna. You should only be missing 1 fish, as well as 1 A-rank fish. You should only be missing 1 of these orbital chests. You should have all of the fishing gear already completed, so it will not pop up as well. And then I will just see we are missing 2 drivers up to this point. That is the only drivers we're missing. And then you're missing 1 plugin. If you've been following this, that should be everything that you're missing that we will be getting in the finale. If you're missing anything else, go ahead and look up what all you're missing. Just go to any video, any guide, any website, look up everything you're missing. Make sure you grab them, because this is the last time you can explore all of Edith before the end of the game. The only place you can't go is Grand Circuit, so if you missed out on Grand Circuit, I believe that's all, like, you can't go back. Same with Auber District. However, all the main areas are unlocked at this point. So make sure you go grab everything. When you're ready, we're going to go walk up to this event. I just want to see, does she don't have anything? I didn't think so. We're going to go ahead and walk up to this fountain, and where is it going to be at? Do I need a shard search? Oh, right up there. Statue of Sheena. So that was just them warning you. When you travel to this park, it will cut off access to all of these. You'll be able to visit a couple more in the finale. However, this is the last time you can explore the entire area. Anything, even from the prologue that you've missed that is in Edith, you can grab now. Unfortunately, if you miss anything from other areas, you cannot go back. So, you can view the world map if you want to, though. It's a cool looking place. It doesn't let you go too far. It only actually lets you see the Republic, but you can see Crossbell right here and Erebonia. I think you can also see Liberal right there. Those are from previous games. Principality of Eslam as well. Tharbad's where we were in the previous game, so it's just a nice little area you can view. But let's go ahead, and once you're ready, let's head to Dirk Memorial Park to continue this route. We'll just go to the entrance here, because it doesn't really matter. It's going to throw us into a cutscene no matter what.
The Genesis!
The other 6 we brought are glowing too.
What the?
Guess we came to the right spot after all.
I see. So the enemy was headquartered right under our noses.
Renee, Shizuna.
Why are you? Actually, I don't even need to ask. You remembered too, didn't you?
Yes. While the details are hazy, we likely remembered at the same time as the rest of you. The memories of us overcoming the events of these 3 days rushed right back to us.
She tracked Miss Clodell using her Zypha's location data, while I located you via the CID's information network. As for the Divine Blade of Silver, I presume she arrived here by way of her unclouded eye, in conjunction with her personal instincts.
Oh, I'm always tuned into when something fun is afoot. And after all we've been through together, it'd be a crying shame not to tag along for the finale.
Oh, brother.
I gave her that data due to our school festival work. We've had to touch base a lot.
Sounds like collusion to me. Instead of getting here fair and square, you people resorted to sneaky tricks.
So what? We can rest a lot easier with them on board.
Definitely. Considering what could be waiting for us up ahead, the more allies, the better.
Is that my cue to make a big comeback? Nadia!
Thank goodness you're all right. Or, well, as much as you can be.
Gotta say, I'm surprised you landed on this place before we did.
Yep, not from the get-go though, and I didn't use any sneaky tricks. I just tapped into my partner senses and asked myself where us would hide in or around the capital. Then I went down the list, one candidate at a time for 4 whole days, starting yesterday. You know the final corrosion 3 days from now? That was when I stumbled into this place and faced off against the Garden Master. I managed to get the drop on him and steal back one of the Genesees. But then...
Out of the way, Nadia. Ace is my partner. I won't let you lay a finger on him.
Well now, you've turned into quite a little bandit in the short time since I've seen you, Nadia. Everything is in place. Won't you join us in watching the rise of a new dawn?
Not on your life, Garden Master! So that's what happened when you reclaimed the 7th Genesis.
We were totally blindsided back when Swin joined the Garden Master on Nemeth Island. But him having a crimson aura changes things.
The corrosion must have already gotten to him by then. And it's been eating away at his sense of self ever since.
An experience we know all too well. Though, when it first began for him remains a mystery.
His condition resembles that of Jin and Kilika during the coup d'etat.
The difference is that this appears to be the actual Swin.
Nevertheless, the corrosion has forced him to follow orders at its convenience all the same.
My brother would never stoop to that. He wouldn't have to in the first place. Not that he is my brother, mind you. Now that I know for sure, all of my hang-ups are gone. I'm gonna stop S and bring him back. And this time, I won't be doing it alone.
Nadia.
To me, he's not just a former client or a part-time assistant. He's someone I trusted enough to act as my substitute. That's all the excuse I need to get involved. I'll let nabbing the 7th Genesis make up for you shirking work. You better be ready to get down to business.
Lucky for you, I've got an exclusive free overtime deal going on right now. Good to be part of the team again, guys.
Glad to have you back.
You really had us rattled for a while. But now, we can finally retaliate.
Yeah. All that's left is to bring Swin around and teach those schmucks not to mess with us again. So what's our next move?
The Genesis resonance caused this phase space to expand. But there does not appear to be any activity beyond that. Perhaps there is another layer deeper within. Presumably, the Merhien Garten's resources would have been utilized to construct it.
Just like what happened with me. That must be where the enemies hold up.
Then what we need is a way to breach it.
Heads up! The welcome wagon's here.
Fall back!
These attacks feel familiar.
Oh, not these guys again!
It's the artifacts those overseers from the gardens had.
Olympia's angelic doll Ishtanti, and Ariok's fangs of Rahu.
They went missing en route to Arteria, just like the Sword of Divine Darkness.
The corrosion seems to have turned them into autonomous sentries.
So they can fight by themselves like an Erasion? Can't we ever catch a break?
Either artifact would make for an onerous foe. To say nothing of facing both at once.
But we still have to take them down.
Yeah, battle stances, everyone. We're riding this out no matter what.
Then I'm sure you wouldn't mind some assistance from yours truly.
Huh? Retzi?
The Society's golden butterfly.
Nice of you to crash the party. I take it you're after those artifacts? I am merely tying up a few loose ends. How fortunate I am to steal a march on the Grolsritter.
Oh, swell. I was hoping someone would pop out of nowhere and spout big-ass shit.
Who cares? As long as she's on our side. Just try to keep up, Golden Butterfly.
Very well. Shall we then?
Looks like Lucretia's joining us, but I wish these two were joining us. And it also looks like Nadia is back. If you forgot about her, I don't blame you. She hasn't been seen in a while. She had, what, 20 episodes? Roughly about 20 episodes by now. I'll keep Rosette on just in case I have to Cobalt Curtain. I'm just keeping my usual team on at this point. These are my 4 strongest. I could swap her for pretty much either of these two, but I just like Ren, so let's go ahead and hop into it.
Activating shards.
These are 2 bosses from the first game. They were actually connected to some members, some of the bad guys from the first game, but it looks like they've been separated. It doesn't look like they're weak to anything, so we'll just go ahead and use Cetus Phantasma here.
You'll pay for that.
Lucretia, I wish you were anyone else. But it is cool that she's joining us. The Ouroboros doesn't typically fight with us, so when they can, it's a good time. Yeah, I'll just finish this with a Cetus here. This should delete both of them. Yep, there we go.
Nice. Moving on up.
Hostiles neutralized! As annoying as that was, they were still just empty husks in the end. That halberd's not half as scary without its owner to swing it around.
And without its mistress, the angelic doll was little more than a puppet. Regardless, it is a relief that we were able to subdue them.
I heard a bit about how you guys handled those overseers from the gardens. You even managed to save Arioke and Olympia from being freaks of nature forever. That's a pretty big deal.
It might have turned out like that, but it's not like we did it on purpose. And we didn't do all that much in the first place. Anyway, does our surprise visitor want to explain why she's here?
You mentioned something about tying up loose ends?
Well, it's not as though I harbor any personal sentiment for these artifacts or the overseers who wielded them. But as a relative of sorts, I thought it only right that I clean up after their messes.
I've read the reports. You refer to your affiliation with one of the predecessors of the Gardens, correct?
That's acting on a pretty noble whim for someone from the same haunts as the Oathbreaker.
Now, don't give me that. Was it not you who said I wasn't as bad as Arwood back at Longport?
That ain't exactly a high bar to reach. I'll admit, though, your help came in handy this time.
As a bracer, my stance here is complicated. But only a Spriggan could facilitate such a wide scope of collaboration.
Then, if I may complicate things a touch further, might you be amenable to one more deal between us? I would be ever so grateful if you could allow me to take custody of those artifacts in lieu of the Grolsritter.
Say what?
You wish for us to relinquish them to the Society?
Yes, though not for any nefarious designs, mind you. On that, I can swear to the Grandmaster. As I mentioned, this is but a single loose end. For my part, I wish to hold a memorial service in their honor. Perhaps I could help you forge a path inside by way of compensation?
You mean with that translocation trick?
Just like back in the Great Spire.
Retzi's Duskglaive certainly could create an entrance into the enemy's territory. And swearing to the Grand Master is the highest vow a member of the Society can give. We can trust her.
Common sense tells us that recovering artifacts is something that should be left to the Church. But I don't think we have much choice here. Accepting her terms might be our only hope.
True enough. Celeste will rake me over the coals if she finds out, so I'm gonna need us all to keep our story straight.
I have no issue with that. The CID has already withdrawn any involvement in the matter.
I'm rather reluctant to deceive Dominions. But right now, protecting the people from the corrosion comes first.
It seems we have an accord. Shall we begin then? But I should mention, the best I can do is cut open a rift. Crossing it would be a separate matter. Now, without further ado, be a dear and lend me a hand, would you, Shizuna?
Sure. I think I got the gist of it after watching you the first time.
Huh? You can't be serious.
Open sesame!
And done. Not too shabby for an off-the-cuff copycat.
Why, that was marvelous, darling. Perhaps in time, you will be able to do this all on your own.
Wow. Who knew making holes in space was something you can learn by example?
It isn't. At least, not under normal circumstances.
Sky's the limit with these chicks, huh?
With that, I leave the rest to you. I look forward to seeing how you plan to prune away the garden that man has grafted together.
You can skip the good luck speech. One more garden's nothing after all we've been through. It's like this. I'm taking us back. End of story.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now let's roll.
Welcome to the Hollow Garden, not to be confused with the Marchian Garden or the Gardens. They really like to use the word garden in this. You can purchase some items if you need to. You could, I think, buy some new stuff for Nadia, but it should already be her. Yeah, it's already her gear she has now. I'm going to hold off on upgrading just because I'm sure we'll get one more set of upgrades in the finale. Make sure you set up your characters. You should only need 4 for this, so I'll just keep my usual squad
He
on.
must have been the one who took over the Mirhian Garden.
Let's just go ahead and run
There's
through
no
it.
doubt in my mind about that.
I'll take over the garden.
I'll do Shizumi this time.
It's all right there in the name.
Indeed. I don't know exactly how he did it, but it all must have been for the sake of his plan.
So gonna pay.
Yeah, shocker. The Garden Master took over the Marchian Garden. It's in the name. But it is interesting because I don't think we're finishing the garden now, and there is still more floors after. So I feel like there's a little bit more to it, but maybe the post-game is just us training in the garden. It might not actually be us trying to stop whoever took over the garden. Let's get Xerath Gleam here.
That's a gate. Looks like this area is structured similarly to the Mirkan Garden.
Yeah, but I'm getting a weird vibe from it. There's something hostile inside. Stay on guard, everyone. We'll put an end to it this time.
Guys, we all in one piece?
Yes, it's very similar to the garden. It's going to operate pretty much the same way. You're going to have portals you can teleport through, but this is a very large dungeon. It's not going to be as large as the finale, but it probably is the second largest dungeon in the game. These are actually some enemies that you fought in the finale of the previous game. I guess you fight them now. So just like usual, you use your magic to hit those. And the garden up until this point kind of was training you what this is. So you have your portals, you have the things you have to use magic on to activate. Got some chests you can find, some enemies you can find. Definitely a cooler place in the garden, and this is actually required, so just keep Xerath gleaming all the enemies, take them down pretty easy. You get an EP3 right there. And then got another, what are these things called again? These were kind of annoying in the finale for the last game. I used these guys to get the, like, 4 times damage bonus that you can get, which requires you to do a whole bunch of stuff. But because they have an attack that pretty much hits you every time, you basically have to start with a dodge, a perfect dodge. But they're very hard to perfect dodge, because especially if you're fighting multiple of them, which you have to fight 8, I believe, in order to get it. It's very hard to get. These are just some knights, the Adepta Greed. This, I think, is another Adepta, but this one might not be Greed, because this one isn't magic-based. This one's, oh, nope, not even called the same thing. Interesting. And right here we got these big guys. We're gonna be fighting a bunch of these going forward. A bunch of these larger, like, golem-looking enemies.
And entertaining.
The
Well, I'm
Phineas
glad
Nuada.
someone here is enjoying themselves. Shouldn't be much longer.
Azure Sunray, I think, barely gets rid of them, too. They're very strong, very beefy enemies by this point. But you're pretty much in the final stretch of the game. We've officially hit, like, the best parts of these games, too. The finale and, like, the act right before it that's setting up the finale typically are the final, or, like, the best parts of these games. Go ahead and start with Gleam here. Should be coming up on one more chest up here. We'll just go into it.
Good work, guys. We all in one piece.
That looks like a nice chest.
Watch it. That one's
I don't think Xerath Gleam's gonna take care of all of them, because I think the ones to our left is just, nope, barely hit them all. This is Celestial Bomb right there. We'll go into it. I'm not gonna actually use Xerath Gleam here, just because we are coming up on the boss fight.
Away we go.
Don't worry, Nadia. We'll get him back. Right, of course. Sorry I got so down.
Nice and
Thanks,
refreshed.
Addie.
So, right up here is gonna be our first boss, so we'll just go ahead and get into it.
Honor 6.
caught me, even after I stifled every sign I was here. Guess there's no fooling the divine blade of silver. Or Van's nose, for that matter.
An ambush? When did he get behind us? It reminds me of Joshua back in the old days.
Freaking hell. You were striking to kill, weren't you?
Obviously. Right now, I'm the Three of Swords. As the Ace of Swords partner, it's my duty to remove any unwanted pests.
Us?
You surprised me, Nadia. The way you showed up on that last day. To be honest, I didn't think you had the nerve. Not enough to follow my lead joining Ace, or to come and stop me yourself.
I learned the bulk of your backstories when we joined forces 2 years ago. So I know how much guilt you feel over your former partner. Is that where the corrosion slipped through?
Not quite. This is something I chose for myself. It happened the moment he came into contact with me during our first night at Nemeth. It was late, and I couldn't sleep. So I left the villa and went for a walk on the beach without telling Nadia. Then all of a sudden, Altera, appeared right in front of me. She took off, and I gave chase, eventually leading me right to him. He'd already been on the island, waiting to pull me back into his ranks. There was no way he could be alive. As his killer, I knew that better than anyone. But then, he showed me his face. And the more we talked, the more of Ace I saw in him. No amount of logic or reason could get me to shake the notion that it really was him. I missed how it felt having him to depend on. Having him there to support me, the way he used to. That's why I made the decision to join him. To stand at his side to the bitter end. To see his ambitions through, no matter what they might be. The second I thought this, something crimson filled me, and all my memories of that night were sealed. They stayed dormant until the very next day, when the perfect moment came to betray you, and turn my back on Nadia.
Swin.
So he was on the island from day one, huh? It's almost obvious in hindsight, considering he was in cahoots with the Oathbreaker at the time.
Beyond that, your memories were closed off. It had been troubling me how there were no signs beforehand.
You were planted as part of a subtle gambit to snatch the pieces of the 8th Genesis away from us.
Also, the Garden Master could fulfill his ambitions.
Is that really okay with you, Swin? Don't you realize how much grief you've been putting Nadia through?
Of course I do. But as long as he continues to be Ace, I won't act any differently. That's the one and only way I can atone for what I've done.
Corrosion is powering him up. But wait!
It's stronger than anything we've gone against so far!
Accepting the corrosion of his own volition has allowed him to bring out its full potential.
He appears to be staunchly committed to this.
And unlike before, there's no contradictions to pick apart. It won't be so easy to get through to him.
No! There has to be a way!
Don't worry, Aggie. None of this changes the plan one bit. I'm bringing S back, period. If that means having to fight him, then fine. Anything for the best partner a girl could ask for. So back me up, everybody. I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
Nadia. Okay then. I'm with you. We're all with you. To the end! You'll always have me in your corner. What sort of upperclassman would I be otherwise?
If you have something to prove, Swin, then let's see it. This ain't just about atonement anymore. Your current partner's got you on the brain. Show us you can look at her with your head held high!
Fine. Take down you, Nadia. And everyone else you've got!
And so here we are, a fight against Swin. If you beat this without anyone getting KO'd, you will get bonus SP. However, this should not be anywhere near as difficult as the last fight we did. So let's just go ahead and hop into it. What are they weak to? I think the Grendels are weak to.
Checking the information.
Because they're weak to pretty much everything. So Cetus Phantasma should honestly one-shot all of them. We'll keep her grouped up with Ren here. I'm also going to swap out Ren if I need to for Rosette to get Cobalt Curtain up. Looks like I might not need to.
Can't take much more.
That one-shot all of them and put S very close to not being here. Did I even S? I did S booster. Wow. Azure Sunray here will get rid of S probably in one hit. Let's see. Yep, that's the fight.
Nice. Moving on up.
There's still much I have yet to learn. Onwards and upwards. I'll reach even greater heights.
Pretty impressive, Nadia. Your needle arm's steady, and your threads aren't wavering a bit. Looks like you've finally gotten over things enough to treat me like an enemy.
I couldn't get over you if I tried. But I'm still gonna fight like I mean it. Anything to bring you back to me! And then, once I do, we can laugh about it together and welcome LP home with a smile.
Nadia.
Punk-ass bastard! Wake the hell up already! Or are you just gonna leave your partner a sniveling wreck forever?
What he said! There's no reason for us to keep fighting!
Talk all you want. It won't change my convictions. Sorry to cut and run, but I'm pulling back.
Swin!
S!
He's gone.
A tactical withdrawal, hmm?
Only a temporary one, if I had to guess.
Yeah, but he won't be catching up to us anytime soon from down there. Holding up okay, Nadia?
You think he would have grown out of the whole making the girl you like cry phase by now?
Yeah, I'm fine. Let's keep going. Maybe we can fix S by taking out the source.
Nadia!
It stands to reason, seeing as our primary goal is to end the corrosion.
The Garden Master, the 8th Genesis, and the Crimson Grendel. They're the root of all this. Put a stop to them, and Swin should return to normal. In that case, we should continue on without delay.
If we screw around too long, Ashen's corrosion might start up again.
Since Swin's here, that means the Garden Master's probably roosting nearby. Stay sharp, guys. Let's close things out with a bang.
That was the first fight against Swin. Let's go ahead and activate the next
Path's all clear.
pillar. We'll run on over
Kid
here.
sure knows how to put up a fight.
Hit a quick heal.
Can't say I'm a fan of him
Nice
when
and
he's not on our
refreshed.
side.
Take that back. You should be a fan of S no matter what side he's on, because he's so strong and cool.
I can tell she's trying to put on a brave face. But I'm glad she's trying to press on.
We do have a new achievement there we can grab. This is just dealing 300,000 damage in a single attack. That's Step with Mass 500. And with that, that seems like a good place to wind things down. Next episode, we're going to tackle the second half of this dungeon and probably finish up the entirety of Act 3 and be able to move on to the finale. So I will see you guys then.